excited at 11 o'clock at night because he goes, I don't have to do anything tomorrow, Dad. I said, nope.
All right, let's see how many people we have here. Morning, Morgan. Morning, Angela.
Good morning. Welcome, Patrick.
Good morning. Thank you.
Sorry about those Packers.
I know.
Pretty good game though.
TB12. He's
Yeah.
the GOAT, that's for sure. I'm happy for him. Although I do want the Chiefs to win, so.
There you go.
Gotta buy more grid squares then.
I was gonna say Josh is not liking that this morning.
I know, I will buy mine. I still need to. Nancy,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm loving a snow day. Oh my God.
I know, isn't it beautiful?
Oh, it isn't much, but my Wyoming heart is so happy to see snow instead of rain. Yuck. It's a good day.
It is, it's beautiful. And the roads aren't bad, so that's good.
Oh no, they're nothing. I love it. Love it.
Only bad news is I had to traipse out to wipe the snow off the satellite dish, so I had some connection.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Some dishes aren't liking it too much, I don't think.
So you take a broom or something out there? Or what?
Yeah,
do
you just take a broom and sweep them off.
That's great.
Then they wake up, they're good. Of course, in Wyoming, they're up on the top of a roof. That makes it a little more spectacular.
That would be.
All righty, let's give it. Oh, good morning, Shane.
Morning.
So Shane, is the Y open, or are you back
We opened at 7:30, so we delayed, and then our youth program's delayed by an extra hour, so they're opening at 8:30. But I mean, at my house, the roads are totally fine.
We could see you.
So Shane, I have a check to drop off to you today.
Oh, cool.
But it's not for you. It's for.
Ah.
So my mother-in-law gave us a check, for $100 check for the football grid,
Cool.
and so I'm going to deliver it to you, so you can deliver it to Andy, so Andy can deliver it to Susan.
Great.
Okay.
I am closing tonight, so I probably won't be there until lunchtime. So if I'm not there, just tell them it's for me at the desk, and they'll put it on my desk.
Okay. Cool.
And Andy's there right now if you just need to circumvent Shane too.
That's actually true.
Okay. Alrighty, so let's get the show on the road because I know Patrick has to be somewhere today. So excited to see Morgan on video.
Yeah. Hi.
Wow.
So I'm actually gonna let Morgan kick this show off.
We're on video.
Ding ding, we're gonna start now.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
So I'll let you do the club prayer.
Are you going to put it up there for me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. God.
Just so that I don't botch it.
You don't know it by heart?
I lost
Okay.
my screen. There we go. All right. For the food before us, the friends beside us, and the love and opportunity that surrounds us, let us be truly grateful. Amen.
I'm not.
Um,
Okay, and how about we go to Nancy? We got to see you today, so we'll let you do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. All righty, so we're gonna get right to know. I didn't ask, so Patrick, do you have a presentation?
I do not. I am.
You not? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you talk because you're our the main speaker today. And I think everybody wants to know about Wegmans. So I wanted to introduce Patrick McGinnis. So I think you're the manager for the new Wegmans coming in Wake Forest. So I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to let you, I'm going to show your screen. And we're going to let you tell us a little about Wegmans.
Okay. I'll start with a little bit about me as a person. I am originally from Erie, Pennsylvania. Been with Wegmans for 21 years. Irish Catholic, 6 siblings, 5 sisters, 1 brother. Like I said, born and raised Erie, Pennsylvania. Started with the company 21 years ago with an opportunity to continue to grow. Erie is a great place to raise a family. It's not really a great place to grow a career. So we moved with Wegmans 19 years ago to the eastern half of Pennsylvania. My wife, Jamie, and I, who's also from Erie, Pennsylvania, opened a couple stores in Pennsylvania, lived in York, Pennsylvania for 9 years. We purchased our first home. That's where we had our first 3 children. Iris is 13, David is 11, Vivian is 7. And then we had the opportunity to become a store manager for Wegmans 7 years ago and move to right outside of Annapolis, Maryland. There we, a year and a half ago, we had our 4th child, Margot. We bought our house in Wake Forest and Heritage almost 2 years ago. We bought the house a year before we knew before we were moving. We knew we were moving. Looking back on that, it was probably one of the best decisions we ever made because we bought the house before the pandemic. Didn't have to look for a house during the pandemic because we had to move during the pandemic. My kids are, besides my wife, are the most important thing to me. That's why we moved to Heritage and Wake Forest and really to Raleigh with Wegmans. I love what I do. It's the second best thing I ever did. First thing was marrying my wife. So if you ever meet her, please use. I could always use the brownie points. But just so that's a little bit about me. I have siblings all over the country. If you would have told me someday I'd live in Raleigh, North Carolina, or Wake Forest, North Carolina, I would have said you're crazy. So I'm in the middle of redoing our 3rd floor attic right now. I did spend like 2.5 hours up there last night. I'm not much of a handyman, but I'm learning as I kind of go along. So talking a little bit about Wegmans. We're a privately held company. We started in 1916 with the Wegmans. Robert Wegman started the company with his father, and his brother started the company. Robert Wegman joined the company in 1937. He bought the company. We're privately held. Fortune magazine has us as a top 10 place to work. We've been on the list since its inception for over 20 years. Our focus is our employees. Customers are great, but the most important thing we have is our employees. If we don't take care of our employees, the customers don't matter. I said we're a private company. The Wegmans family is Mr. Wegman's son, Danny, is now owns the company. His 2 daughters, Colleen and Nicole. Colleen is the CEO, and Nicole is involved in other aspects of the company. One of the vice presidents. We're different than our competition, and I really say that because we're really a mission focused company. One of the things we talk about, it's called a W board. It's what we believe, what we measure. We are merchants, who we are, and what we do. We talk about who we are. We care about the well-being and success of every person. High standards is a way of life. We pursue excellence in everything we do. We make a difference in every community that we serve. We respect and listen to our people, and we empower our people to make decisions that improve their work and benefit of the customers and our company. As a store manager, I will oversee roughly 440 to 450 employees at the Wake Forest location. of which between 140 and 150 are full-time and the rest are part-time. But I am the least important person that we have because I'll be here regardless. When you come into, if anybody's been to a Wegmans, you know, the store looks great. It looks like very much a European market, but it's really focused on consistent low pricing. We don't do a lot of high and low and try and figure out price points. It makes it easier for our people to shop and our customer and our employees to order product. We focus on just being part of the community. I've reached out. You know, Rick got my name through Sandy at the food bank. We've made some donations to the food bank. We've also reached out to a lot of the Boys and Girls Club, and there's a Wake Harvest helping people, or really kids in school who are struggling because of the pandemic, and they had to shift some of their business models. As a store manager for Wegmans, I get the opportunity to kind of focus on the things in the community that I think are important to help out. Rick reached out to me to talk with you guys, just for an opportunity, really just to say hello and start the process of just becoming part of the community of Wake Forest. We also did join the chamber with Blanche and with Ann. Had a meeting with them as well. What we do is different than our competition because of our people. You know, the nice thing about Publix is they're privately held as well. They do a great job with what they do. The biggest thing I think people see is this when time continues on with us at Wegmans is we're cheaper, and I believe our people are the best that there is. We've interviewed a lot of people from Walmart, from Harris Teeter, from Publix. If you would have told me 21 years ago that I'd still be with Wegmans, I would thought maybe you were a little crazy. But it's a great place to work. I have a supervisor. Blaine is our DM. He oversees Virginia, North Carolina. Wake Forest will be our 106th store for the company. Right now, Raleigh's the furthest south that we are. There's some plans to go further south someday, but we're not dying for that. Our job isn't, our focus isn't to be the biggest. Our focus is to be the best. And if we continue to take care of our employees, those things will happen. We don't always make decisions based upon profit. We make decisions based upon people. And that's the greatest thing about being private. The pandemic has definitely shifted us as a business. We used to have a lot of hot prepared foods, and obviously that doesn't happen anymore. But we're just continuing to bounce back. We make poor decisions sometimes, but we learn from them and we kind of grow. The family is extremely involved in the company. We have a store up in Rochester, New York called Pittsford. Where a lot of things they take and try and work on things, and then it kind of branches out into different markets. We have stores in North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and obviously New York. I mean, that's really who we are as a company. Keep on going back to people. Right now in the deployment office, I'm working with 8 employees hiring for the store. The applicant flow for Wake Forest has been amazing. Right now we're about to open the Chapel Hill store end of February, and we have more applicants coming in at the Wake Forest location than we do at that Chapel Hill location, and they've had a more of a media presence trying to get people to apply. People are just applying for Wake Forest from all over, and some people have no idea what we are, and some people have been to the store and they can't believe it. We have 9 people here this week who are going through orientation. We call it living. One of the ladies came out to join us, interviewed with us from Colorado. Her husband decided to move to Raleigh, has never been to Wegmans, but heard so many good things about it that she wanted to take a chance. And just extremely impressed at day 2 with just how we do things. Sometimes people say things, they may say it's a little cult-like. I think when you see our store and you deal with our people, you'll understand that we really are, it's really a family atmosphere. It's all about people. We have 2 employee advocates who report to an employee advocate divisional person who is not connected with me. They don't report to me. Our job is to work together and try and make things right. Flexible scheduling. It's really all about people. Any questions or anything I could answer for anybody?
Patrick, can you talk about kind of the schedule and timing of the Wake Forest store and how construction's going?
So the store is I go there probably 5-6 times a week. My kids probably go once or twice. They prefer not to go ever again because we go so much. I just like to walk around and look at things. The site itself is going very well. We're on target for our turnover date in April. The biggest issue or concern is really the road work out front and the state being involved with that. I don't know how much you guys know about so if you look at if you're sitting in the front door of the store and you look out towards 98, to the east of us is something that just got approved. It's called Grove 98. They're going to knock down even more trees, build townhouses and apartments. I think even and then some retail space, and then also across the street. That's coming up, I think, in March. That they want to build even more across the street. The store is going great. It's really the road work out front. The nice thing is, as a new Wake Forest Heritage resident, is that the store is going to be sitting between Forbes Grove Way, which will be just to the west of us, 20 feet to the west of the store, and then Lincoln Mill, which is 20 feet to the east of this, maybe 200 feet to the east of the store. We'll be sitting in the middle there, kind of like Three River Stadium, the greatest football team in the world.
Are they in the Super Bowl this year?
Hey, we have 6. So when you want to catch up, just let me know. Anybody with Tom Brady, by the way, I was being nice in the beginning and just listen. Anybody with Tom Brady. So it's going to sit right there. The nice thing is it's when you go on Lincoln Mill, you have to go, if you come in from the east, you're going to have to go back out the east. And when you coming from Forbes Grove Way, which is the side closer to Route 1, you're going to have to go back out Forbes. They're not going to let you make a left or right on either one just because of traffic. I don't know how they're going to stop it, but that's the plan. But the store it's awesome. It's awesome to see the progression and how everything just from day to day, how it all is being handled.
Hey, so Patrick, is there any difference between that store and the one in Raleigh, like in terms of what's going to be there? Or
no, not. Now that's a great question. If you would have said that Raleigh would have taken 5 years to go from the first store to the 4th store, then there would be slight differences in things. But the one thing we won't have is the made-to-order salads. That kind of didn't take off like we had thought. But what we did shift is sushi is bigger, and we did kind of shift it from, if you think about sushi at Raleigh, it's at 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock if you were to look at it, it's at 3 o'clock. So there's a bigger presence on the side. Sushi has been a fantastic run for us in the Raleigh markets. So it just continues to be something we continue to look at as a company. But the rest of it is maybe a little bit, some walls and stuff shifted a little bit. The one thing is when you talk about the Raleigh location, the clock tower is higher, whereas in Wake Forest, the town was very particular about bringing it a little bit. Didn't want it to be so high and a little bit fatter, so we made those adjustments to make sure that we complied with what they were looking for.
But Patrick, will there be a cart escalator? That's my question.
No, because there's no parking garage. So when you think about a parking garage, the Raleigh store, anytime you build up, it just almost doubles the price. And we had such a great opportunity to buy land in the mass that it is. Now, I will tell you the unique thing about Wake Forest parking lot is it's really not deep in it. If you think about the Raleigh location, it goes far. Wake Forest is really it's about half that size, but it even goes around the cafe side of the store. So I think Raleigh has like 700 parking spots. We'll have about 550. But that's also shifted because of the pandemic. I mean, with the cart to curb and the drive ups, people aren't coming in the store. So we think as a company, and I think as an industry, that people will, has shifted how people will shop forever. I mean, some people may never come in the grocery store ever again if they don't have to.
Just as an aside, I was privileged to talk to Patrick and learn about Wegmans, but I had experience with Wegmans in Collegeville, Pennsylvania, which is relatively near Reading, where my daughter was working at the time. And we were impressed with how clean the store always is. They have a huge pizza bar. They have a huge salad bar, and you can get almost anything that you want at Alice's Restaurant, otherwise known as Wegmans.
And
We
Patrick,
used to go to the cafe just to have lunch as an outing. That's how many options you had.
we do that too. And I kind of, my computer broke up a little bit. Did you say, Patrick, that they aren't going to have the made to order salads anymore?
No, we will not. We've shifted away from that. We'll still have the unique thing. I think we saw that people we'll have the same varieties. It just won't be the instead of bacon bits or eggs. It just doesn't. People didn't really take into that. So
they don't eat healthy salad.
Well, they do. They just want to grab and go. They don't want to tell you what they want. They just kind of want to move on. The unique thing is, if you've never been to our sub shop, is that's really strong in our New York markets. But we've kind of traveled further south in PA and in Maryland and in Virginia. It's done okay. The Raleigh location, though, has done fantastic when it comes to subs. So it's amazing just the difference. The other thing that we've seen as a company is the amount of transplants that know Wegmans that are here. I've been driving around the van, the hiring van through Wake Forest the last couple of weeks. One, because it's great advertising, and I love what I do. So if you get somebody to do something, or have themselves apply, or their children apply, or their parents apply, it's an opportunity to get that in front of people. Our former one of our former vice presidents, he's now retired, Jack DePeters, said we're a company run by 16-year-old cashiers. And that's very true, that people start with Wegmans and never leave. I didn't start with Wegmans. I went to college for a year and a half. I dropped out, started working for McDonald's. I did that for 6 years. I went to Hamburger University up in Oak Brook, Illinois. But then I realized that working for somebody else, owner operator was great. I was worked real hard, but they're the ones that made all the money, and it's tough work. So I decided to come work for Wegmans, and it just shows you any sky's the limit. You can do things you never imagined if you just find the right place and people appreciate what you do, and you appreciate what they do for you.
Patrick, I have two questions. The first is, are you guys going to have any kind of a soft opening? And if so, could the Rotary Club members get tickets? And my second question is, can we get you to join our Rotary Club?
So I would tell you that we will have a soft opening. But a soft opening I would say is if we, normally we open stores on Sundays, but we do a soft opening. What will happen is we may just open the Wednesday before and not advertise it, and then know that the people are going to open Sunday, because we're just trying to limit lines and crowds. So we may do that. It all depends where we stand with the pandemic and with the vaccine. It's definitely a unique process. We did open West Cary. We did open Harrison. We did open Tyson's, and Harrison is in New York, and Tyson's is in Virginia, and then we're opening Chapel Hill really limited lines. As far as joining the Rotary, I will tell you this is probably the fourth company or organization that's asked me to join. So I can defer for now, and I will get back to that question.
Just a follow up to that. Do any of those other organizations meet in Heritage?
No, you're not, no. Gary, I got to remember, your picture is being saved on my computer. So when I meet you in the store, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. Is there other questions you have for Patrick or?
Patrick, did you actually say what your target date is? I heard a date in there, but I'm not sure that was necessarily the target opening date. It was the turnover date.
So right now it's floating, and really it's because of the road work. But I'll say, this is off the record, I'll say June 1st.
Okay.
But we haven't. I think one thing, an article came out and had a date, and that probably should not have been the date. And if you look at anything recent, we've kind of said either May or June. So I'll say June 1st.
That's kind of what I've heard. June.
Yeah.
May, June. So.
Yeah.
Patrick, I have one more question. Are you guys going to offer grocery delivery?
Yeah. So we do where you work with through Instacart, very similar to what Publix does. We'll do cart to curb, which we'll do, and then the Instacart will shop, and then the Instacart employee or contractor will then deliver that to your house.
Oh, Patrick, I've got another question. This is a legit question. With everything, pandemic and everything, have you overall this site or really company-wide increased the number of lanes for pickup and kind of change the mindset and planning to just kind of like what Chick-fil-A is a perfect example of just ramping up the drive-through and pickup.
So what we do with the cart to curb is we do like a hour window where they're between 3 and 4, 4, 5, 5 and 6. What we've done is that we haven't added any other lanes to it yet because it's doing well, but it's not Chick-fil-A. By the way, Jerry, all your questions I appreciate. So it doesn't matter what you ask. I'm pretty. I have 5 sisters. It's hard to rattle me. But what Chick-fil-A has done, I think is as an old McDonald's guy, I think is fantastic. Whether it's through the drive-through, through the pickup, and keeping people out of the store, I think it was brilliant. But we are just adding more additional people to. If you would have said before the cart to curb program, if we had 10 employees, now just say hypothetically we have 25 employees. So that's really where we've seen the shift in our business.
Okay. Is that it, or any more questions? I know everybody's excited about Wegmans, so.
And you know what I will do? I at some point I will reach out to you guys and say, if you want to meet, we can have a meeting at the store, and I'll give you an inside tour but you can't share it with anybody else because I love it. I love that people are so excited. My kids think I'm crazy because I want to go there both Saturday and Sunday and every other day of the week. And I think that's the pride in that we have of what we do. I love that people can't wait for it to happen. It's going to shift everything that happens in the grocery business in Wake Forest. I think people understand that some people don't. The great thing is some people don't care about money because they're good, but the people that want to get what they want and understand the price. And I don't mean to talk bad, but if you think about Harris Teeter, they're about 19% more expensive than us, and Publix is about 20%. I think just talking about a gallon of milk. If you go look at those places, it's usually over $2, if not $2.50. Right now in Raleigh, and all the stores will be the same price point. We're selling a gallon for like a $1.74. So that's just simple things, but I think it's something you'll see as time goes on. Now we do have things that nobody else has, and you're going to pay more for those. But that's if you fundamentally stay to the things that you buy every day, that you or anywhere else. You'll see the difference.
I was actually going to point out was going to point out about the wine and beer because my wife loves to go to Wegmans to get her Kim Crawford wine, and she buys it in bulk because it's such a good deal. So I think you guys are very competitive on the wines and things like that. So
Yeah.
So I know that's probably important to a few people here. So
especially during the pandemic.
right, exactly. Lots of wine made drink this year.
Yeah.
Do you have something, Angela?
I was just going to say, I kind of had the perception that it would be more expensive, and it really isn't. And I like the Wegmans brand. The brand that they have in the store is very good. So I'm excited that you're moving, that we're going to have a store so close by.
Thank you. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun to watch people walk in and be like, what is this? The store's going to be like 105,000 square feet. Some of our older markets are like 125, 130, but it's definitely, I love it. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah.
And one more comment, when I went into the Raleigh store last year when it opened, and looking at the beer selection, you guys had Genesee from New York, and it was the first time I've seen it in 30 years since I've lived in New York. And I actually made Mark drink one last Christmas party, I think.
Is that where it's from?
Mark, did you like it? Did you appreciate it?
What's that?
Mark, did you like the Genesee? Did you like the beer?
Well, I went to college right near you. I went to St. Bonaventure. So
okay.
So I'm very familiar with drinking that beer. So
Patrick, I have a quick question, and it's a little self-serving, but what are your vendors in terms of the food delivery? My son-in-law works for U.S. Foods here locally, so that's the reason I asked the question.
So we do work with Cisco, but the great thing is we think about some of our competition. We control all of our stuff is from our warehouses coming in, with the exception of Cisco Foods. But yeah, I don't think we do a lot with U.S. Foods. I could be wrong. I mean, this is a new market, and I haven't dabbled that far. As we go to new markets, things change, but I don't think I've seen the trucks or seen anything about that. But we handle all distribution. We own our warehouses. We're looking at trying to open a third warehouse in Richmond so it can serve us further south as we continue to expand. But it's a lot of us, it goes to our warehouse. We control it because food safety is extremely important to us. We want to make sure temperature is controlled throughout the entire process. We have special things on trucks that if it goes above 32 degrees, we won't accept it because that's unsafe food wise based upon frozen. And there's so many. I could go on for a long time and talk to you about many things you guys have no idea or didn't fully think anybody even thought that well ahead.
Well, just know if you go to U.S. Foods, you have a source.
Okay.
All righty. Well, I know Patrick has to be leaving for another meeting, so I'm going to let him go. But he sounds like he's a football guy, so it's going to make him aware of our football grid in case he happens to want to win some money off of Tom Brady. So
what's the cost?
So we're basically selling football grids for $50 a square. Okay. And so this is the winnings you can get out of here. So you might win some money, but some of the money goes back to our club to help in the community. And then so as you buy them, this fills up, and then we're going to randomize these numbers on each column, and then and hopefully you win. I can attest that people do win this. So if you're into football, then either you're welcome to buy a square or you tell other people about it.
So will you send me that link or that page? I will ask the people in the office, and I will send an email before the end of today, I'm sure. Okay,
definitely. Well, Patrick, we appreciate you coming, and I think you did have to leave, I think, right?
Yeah, I have. We're doing another hiring event here in 25 minutes.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming, and we're excited to have Wegmans coming to Wake Forest, and definitely, I know my wife is excited about the wine. So So it's all good, but we'll let you go and thank you. And just to let you know, we did record this, so it's actually on our website too. So it's gonna be it's a YouTube feed for this. So if you ever need to share that for publicity. So, but anyway, well, thank you, Patrick.
Thank you,
Thanks, everybody.
Patrick.
Nice to meet you all virtually. Thank you.
All right, so give me a second, guys. All righty, so how about we, we skipped good news. So why don't we just go to good news now and go back to our screen. So Susan, would you like to kick off some good news for us?
Good news. Let's see. Today is my 8-year anniversary at J.R. Martin. So that's some good news. I've survived that long. So
Congrats.
thank you.
Is your boss difficult to work with, or?
Yeah, she's super difficult.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Susan. Jerry, what about you?
As many probably saw, Megan, she only applied to 2 schools and got into both. So that was very, very good. So NC State, she got whatever last week, and and App State I guess in December. But she was all in her mind, I think, set to go to App, and NC State may make things interesting. We'll see.
Awesome. That's great. Got a lot of state fans here, so
yeah.
How about you, Josh? What's your good news?
So my good news, obviously, Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to the Super Bowl. So definitely got to throw that out there. Great news this morning. Well, my daughter woke up very, very early, but she did get to see actually snow falling for the first time. So that was good news, even though it was a little early. So it was exciting to see her. She's kind of just like.
Neat. Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Mm-hmm. Hey, Rick, what about you? What's your good news?
Just that Patrick was able to join us this morning. It's interesting how the world turns on relationships, and my involvement at the pantry led to knowing about Patrick and just being able to attend us. And I would be gushing if I could over Wegmans. My daughter and wife have been watching the news for a couple of years now, knowing that Wegmans was coming. So I'm gonna be excited to go in the store.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick. How about we go to Nancy, because we haven't had the pleasure of having you for a while. I'm assuming there's a snow day, so no school for you.
No, I don't have to go take care of my Charlie. So I've truly enjoyed that, getting to know my my 9-year-old grandson, my only grandson. I have 4 granddaughters, all of who, well, 3 out of the 4 are in puberty. They're 12 and 13, and I think they're all going to be disowned here within the next few weeks. Their parents have had about as much fun as they can stand. Okay, but I love to see the storm, that big storm we had last night with all that snow. It was wonderful. Just a little bit of taste of where I came from. You know, I'm not crazy about the Buccaneers being in there, but go Chiefs. Love that Kansas group there. Let's hope they do well. I feel very badly that I can't be more involved with you all. Health-wise, it's not been good. I have developed some serious arthritis in my lower back and hips and can't do the standing. And of course, because of the pandemic, I can't be out in public a lot. So, but I'm going to buy those things for the Super Bowl, those cards, whatever you want to call them. And I'd really ask that you back off so maybe I can win this year. You won it all last year, didn't you?
It wasn't me. It was all my family. So
yeah. Excuses.
And
well, you
my
guys all
daughter enjoyed the money for NC State. So all the NC State fans, it's helping a good college student. So
well, you guys all have a good day, and I will come as often as I can to the meetings. I enjoy it.
Terrific to see you.
Right. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nancy.
Great to see you guys.
How about you, Angela? What's your good news?
Well, I was going to say, I am excited to see Nancy here. We've been watching Yellowstone. We went through all three seasons, and I think of you every time they cross from Montana into Wyoming to dump off the dead guys over the cliff.
That's wonderful. Yeah. There's a lot of great places in Wyoming to do that, dropping dead guys off. And believe me, it happens a lot.
I have a quick question on that. We tried looking for that because somebody in my Sunday school class mentioned it. Is that Netflix or HBO or what?
We tried everything. There's a Paramount station now, but we ended up having to buy it because it's on Apple TV and it's on all these things. But we got frustrated with just trying to buy it through the app or get it for free through the apps. So
Apple TV, okay.
I think they make it difficult, so you will buy it. But it was worth it, I will tell you. It's a great show. It really is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Hey, Morgan, what about you? We get to see you today. That's good news, right?
Yeah. We are going to go to Charlotte tomorrow and take my daughter, who is a junior at UNC Charlotte, out to dinner. And then we're going to go sit in her section at the Mellow Mushroom in Charlotte, where she works, on Saturday for lunch and then head back. So I'm excited about seeing her.
Well, maybe you can go to the Charlotte Speedway and get your vaccination. They're supposed to be doing that, I think, this weekend.
I don't think I get the vaccine yet. I can't. I don't have a reason.
Oh, just dye your hair temporarily gray.
I don't think I need much dye.
But you're right, Rick. I've got a client that's driving from here to go do that. I think they're vaccinating 30,000 people in the stadium. Yeah.
That'll be interesting. All right. Well, how about Melissa? Can you hear us?
Sorry, sorry. You're muted because my phone was ringing. So yeah. Oh, good news. My mom has been very lonely, and she always comes down to my house and plays with I have two little Jack Rat puppies. Well, they're 2 years old, and just so happens that she's been wanting one. And I got a message from the lady that I got mine from saying that she had a little girl left, and I showed it to my mom, and she's like, I want it. So yesterday I got her a little puppy just like ours, so made her not as lonely since she was so
awesome.
Made me feel good.
Well, thank you, Melissa, for sharing. How do we move on to Shane? He's got, I don't know, I'm looking at what that shirt is. What does that say?
It says Falls Park on the Neuse River. So that's part of the effort that I'm involved in to help get a whitewater park and a city park there at Falls Dam, just to make the river more accessible. So it's just the shirt I happen to have on this morning.
Okay.
And my good news is it was fun to see the snow this morning and to see our kids get to go outside and play in it a little bit. They've been dying for some snow, and so at least they got one this winter, which was nice.
Awesome.
Jane, Elizabeth Gardner spoke to our group about that park, so I'm happy to hear that it's proceeding.
Well, we feel like we got really close. I work with Elizabeth on the project. We feel like we got really close in the spring to making it on the Parks bond. And, we were having public meetings and Parks Board, and we had rallied the troops, and it was awesome. And then, that was like March 10th, and then everything happened and no Parks bond this year. So we're going to have to redouble our efforts sometime in the future.
Keep fighting. It sounds like a project.
Are there volunteer opportunities for the club?
Fundraising? There are not volunteer opportunities with that, but I am involved with the Carolina Canoe Club, and I am in a conservation chair position with the Canoe Club, and we do cleanups at river access points one of those river access points that we'll probably try to organize a cleanup at is there at Falls Dam. It's always very trashy there, and that greenway is very popular. And so that might be an opportunity for our club.
All right, keep me informed.
Will do.
Sounds like a good idea. All right, I think I am the last one. So my good news is, last time, like I said, I was excited because Gracie got into SMU. The unfortunate part is they had a new process, is that 3 weeks later, they came back and said she's deferred to the business school. Because there was they want like a 1,500 SAT. It's insane. I can't believe that. And so we're still waiting on that. But the good news we had was that last night she got accepted to UNC, which she didn't expect. So excited about that. And she also got into NC State last week. So she's definitely got some options, yeah. So
tough choices.
But we may have a divided house if she goes to UNC. So that's I don't know how we're gonna deal with that. So, but so that's our excitement. So extremely proud of Gracie. She's worked very hard, with everything, her essays and everything. So so I'm excited. She's had some good news. So that's what's going on with us. And let's see.
I have a couple of quick things, Mark, that I need to address.
Sure. Go ahead.
I sent out an email or an invite the other day for February 20th, which is Adopt a Road. So Melissa's already responded to that. We need a few more people to look at that. It's the usual date, time, and place. But more importantly, we have reserved February 27th for the Note in the Pocket, which is a Saturday from 9 to noon. There are up to 8 slots, but there's another group that wants to volunteer that day. So I need to know if we're going to have anybody that's going to attend, and try to lock that down for at least those people who are able to commit to that at this point in time.
I think this is what I just highlighted this on the website. But thanks for the update, Rick. Anything else on the service side that will I have you want to address?
Nothing that's coming up immediately.
Okay.
I've got the trash pickup on the calendar. I don't know if I can do the 27th.
Okay.
The trash pickup on the 20th, Jerry?
The trash pickup on the 20th?
Yep.
I can't. That's district training assembly and pre-pets.
Well, here's a thought, and it goes maybe against something that Angela was trying to arrange, so I don't know where you are on that process. I could try for whatever the Thursday is, the fourth Thursday of the month. The board and the club have talked about doing a fourth Thursday service project, and instead of the club meeting. So if that were more attractive, we could do something like that. I just need to make a reservation or cancel it so that they're not left hanging. And I know it's a month away, but.
Okay.
Last thing, I just remembered, yesterday I was told that we have another community food service raising opportunity scheduled for March 6th at the Lowe's Foods at Capitol Boulevard. So I have not put that on the calendar yet. But that'll be just like the last one that we did. And we need probably do 2 shifts of 3 or 4 people at most there at the Capitol Boulevard location of Lowe's Foods.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick. So other news items, just again, hopefully you guys are liking the new newsletter that we have, because hopefully you're seeing it instead of going to your spam folder. But again, just to point out, if you ever go to the website, just club news up top, and we're going to have all the information So like dates, like what Rick's talking about. I did actually, just to let you know, I don't know who attended this, but there was the presentation they did for the district. And so for helping out with the vaccinations. If you didn't have a chance to watch that, I actually have the recording right here. So you can just go in here and watch that. And I actually did have the presentation as well, which fell off there. So I'll add a link to that. So that'll be right here. So you can actually look and see kind of, if you want to learn a little bit more about what the state's doing for the vaccinations, you can look at the presentation. It's just like a PDF or PowerPoint. So I will update that. Other things. It's just the things that are going on, like some things Rick's mentioned. Did want to remind everybody that the Super Bowl grid is, we only have a week from Sunday is the Super Bowl. I think we've done awesome so far. I mean, usually I'm freaked out up until the last day, but we've got to 72 squares sold. So that's pretty darn good, but we gotta keep on pushing. I'd like to be able to sell them out well in advance of the game. So please tell people about it. And I'm going to be actually, everything, the numbers will be on here, but I'll send an email out with the final numbers. It'll refer back to this page. And I'll probably have a video on there like I usually do to kind of show the randomizing of the numbers. So look for that as well. And I did remind everybody, so February 18th is Discovery Rotary. So please tell everybody that you know about that. So that's, I don't know, did you, Angela, Susan, do you want to say anything on that or?
I did create an event on Facebook. So if you can go in there and invite people, you can click on the event and then it'll let you invite everybody you know. That would be great, or share it on your social media posts. I also put it on Instagram too.
And I think, we could, since we are recording this event today on YouTube, maybe we'll try to push that out a little bit so people will be interested in hearing about Wegmans, and then maybe if we can actually combine that with the Discovery Rotary, kind of notice about that. So that might help get people's attention. Okay, that's all I really had. Anything else for anybody else wanted to say anything or?
Susan, did you have anything on the event?
No, I mean, I think that Jason's got to speak first. Is that the one, right? That he needs to go early?
That's right.
Go early. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be him speaking first, and then at the end, we'll do the presentation to talk about Rotary and what we do and that kind of thing. So hopefully we'll get a lot of people for that.
We all invite at least one person. That would be a great number.
That would be great. And share it in your neighborhoods. Like if you can get it into like a Facebook page or whatever your neighborhood does would be great too.
And speaking of sharing, make sure you've seen the YouTube sites that we have. Please make sure you subscribe to that and tell people about it, because we're trying to record stuff so people like that maybe don't have time can at least get a glimpse of what we're doing as a club. So anything we can do to promote the club would be great. And as we get out of the pandemic, I'm expecting some pent-up demand for people to join the club, and because we'll be out in the public doing more things. So I want to be prepared for that. So okay, well that's all we have. I'm gonna let Nancy, I'm gonna let you say the four-way test, since again we're excited to have you today.
Of the things we think, say, or do, number one, is it the truth? Number two, is it fair to all concerned? Number three, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And number four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And your new website's great, by the way. Love
awesome. It. Thank you. Well, it's all about our public image, right? So
that's right.
Hopefully people see it and say, hey, they're pretty cool, and
Good
ahead of the
job.
time,
You guys
so-
did a great job. It's one of the best I've ever seen. Well
Cool.
done.
All right, guys. Well, everybody have a good week. Good seeing everybody, and I guess enjoy the snow day, I guess.
Bye, everybody.
All right. See y'all.
All
See
right,
ya.
goodbye.
Bye.